Here we are, we got the family business going. Got my coolers all stacked up. My mobile fillet table going. Got Dad over here on the side. He's the master of filleting fish. And the last batch of striped bass, instead of selling them, kept them for the family. Right, Bubba? Awesome.
Yeah, that noise you hear in the background is the state and the city grinding up all the trees. They are pulling giant trees and dropping them into a giant grinder. I went and I did some video. You know what? I'll splice a piece of that video into this video. It was so interesting to watch these guys with these big giant Flannery trucks with the cranes emptying out all these giant tree trunks like they were toothpicks. And now they're grinding them. I could hear it.
Meat off of this, the tail piece, you waste a lot of meat.
Okay.
So that I keep the way it is. This right here is where the bones are in this. So I cut here, and you see the bloodline is. So you trim right along those bones to get the bones out, and then you angle it towards the inside. And that also takes the red meat off. You waste very little. This piece, you waste very little trimming this off. And you don't have to have it so pristine that you can't see a little speck. That's not a problem. You get the bulk of it off. There's bones in this.
Can I feed that to my crocodile?
You can feed it to your crocodile, but it has bones. So there's gonna be enough without this. I would throw this out with the bones, use the pieces without the bones for the crocodile.
So Jerry the crocodile's gonna have fresh striped bass, but I'll freeze it. Just give him a little bit every day. I have a feeling he's gonna like it.
Freeze it, and it has a lot of the red meat on it. You start, there's the bloodline. There's no bones here, but you start on the side of the bloodline. You cut down most of the way, and then you watch how I slide the knife under it, trimming that red meat off, okay? You could leave that on, or you could trim a little more off. You don't have to go nuts. That isn't gonna hurt it. You want the bulk of it off without wasting too much meat. And this is very edible. The reason you're cutting it off is it doesn't freeze well, and you have enough fish here that you're gonna be eating this all winter. Now that's fine like that, okay?
Okay.
This piece, turn it around, go the opposite direction. You're gonna be too low sitting down to do this. You're gonna need to stand up or get a lower surface.
Okay.
Okay? It's gonna be too hard to do it like that. So that is ready for the freezer. This is good for the crocodile. The piece with the bones, throw away. That's ready for the freezer. This is ready to eat. This is ready for, and the dogs too. You're gonna have a lot of this. It's really good for the dogs. You take a small package, you steam it in the microwave or something, you mash it up with the water, put a little water in it, and mix it in with their dry food. It's very good for them. Good for their coat, and good for their it's healthy protein for them. But the vitamins and the amino acids in it are very good for them.
All right. So my dad and my brother, they're out there filleting the fish, and they're bringing me these fillets. That red meat, when you freeze it, a few months later, that'll give it a little taint. So I'm cutting all that off. I don't want to do this before work because I'm going to be late to work, but I'll tell you right now, this is a blessing. We're going to freeze a packet. Hey, look. Look. I made 50 freezer bags last night. So as soon as I'm done with this pile, I'll wash my hands and I will vacuum seal this. We'll be on to the next step. Just wanted to share it with you. All right, so we have to rinse it off in sea salt water. I'm using Morton's, not my best choice, but it's what we had. It's sea salt. After we rinse it off in salt water, I will pat them dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and put them in the bags and get the vacuum seal. This is all little pieces. This is like little tenderloin pieces of striped bass. The rest of the packages have the big pieces for in the oven. These are like little candy bars. If you bread them and fry them, probably not the healthiest way, but oh my goodness.
Candy bars.
Oh yeah, with the little bit of breadcrumbs, with the cheese in there and parsley.
Garlic.
And forget about it. All right, so that's a pack of candy bars. You see that? Can you see that, Mom? Versus these bigger pieces. We got a nice pile right here. We'll be back in a minute. Show them this pile. I'm doing like 10 packs at a time. It's easier than washing my hand 10 times. I can just put them all in the bags and then vacuum seal them and So he left some fish out in his boat and in his camper because he's got some friends he wants to give it to. We kept some in this container right here because they're going to be cooking some fish tomorrow night. And then I'll show you what I put in the freezer for myself. And I got another brother, Peter. So I made his packages first, so I didn't try to be a little cheap with him at the end. So I made Peter's packages first and then I made ours. That's Peter's. I gave him some nice packages because, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. And then this is what we have up here. That's all fish. And then just on top of the peaches, that's all fish. But it's all fresh striped bass. You know. You can't buy fish like that anywhere around here. I've tried. You can get some fish. But this right here, straight out of the ocean, straight into the ice water, packed on ice, and then filleted and immediately freezer packed in vacuum sealed bags. So this right here, I don't know if it'll get us through the winter, but I'm pretty happy. Okay, the fish were filleted, the fish are in the freezer, and Anthony and I, guess what we're doing? We're digging up our tomato beds. Not all of them, because a bunch of them are still producing nice tomatoes. But I'm going to have all of these carcasses all winter rotting away in our tomato beds. And next year, these tomatoes are going to be going crazy. Here, let me have that, Ant. Anthony's over here picking tomatoes. Want to see what they look like? That would be Kellogg's breakfast. And you should see them up there. You see them all? I mean, it's crazy. These tomato plants are thriving. Last year we covered them in plastic and made little greenhouses. This year I just didn't have it after this hurricane. We didn't make any greenhouses. And guess what? These plants are still producing crazy tomatoes and they haven't been watered in a while. So I guess I better start getting back here every couple of days with the hose and give them some water so they can really pop out all this last fruits for the year. All right, Aunt, you ready? Can I see that? Look at that. That's a fish carcass right there. Okay, let's start laying them in there, buddy. I think we should put about 10 in there. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get these beds after these fish are in here, and we cover it with a couple of serious layers of dirt. We're gonna go ahead and plant all these baby tomato plants that started growing from the tomatoes that fell. You know, tomatoes fell in the beds and they're growing. So I'm gonna have 2 beds of Paul Robeson right here. These Kellogg's breakfast, I don't wanna mess with them because they're producing a lot of tomatoes right now. So just like last year, we're gonna get a roll of plastic. We're gonna cover these up, make these little baby greenhouses, and we'll be picking tomatoes after Thanksgiving. Because let me tell you, that was amazing. That was just amazing. We were picking tomatoes on Thanksgiving Day. That's pretty cool, huh? It's hard to see without a flashlight. That's all. I see a lot of green ones turning yellow. I think I got all the yellow ones though. Where's the bucket? Bunch of yellow ones. I got some pimento peppers. I got the tomatoes. I picked all the other tomatoes. I put them over there in a flower pot. Only pick the red ones, Aunt. If we don't get a freeze, they'll be red in a few weeks. Oh, look at that. I spy a bunch of Rome tomatoes. See them over there? What'd you find? Another one? Okay. These plants have needed water. Well, after the hurricane came, I stopped coming out to the garden. I just felt a little defeated. The trees are down. The stump guy comes tomorrow. So I'm walking around in the dark with the flashlight on my phone. Anthony went and got a regular flashlight. I am picking massive Kellogg's breakfast tomatoes. They're still green. They're not all the way turning yet. But if I put them in the house in the closet, they'll turn yellow. I don't have to worry about the frost. Karen said it's going to be 20 degrees coming up this week. I don't have it in me to go get the plastic and wrap all these beds and make greenhouses. I just don't have it in me. I got so much stuff we still have to clean up after this hurricane. But in a little while, when I go in the house, I'll show you everything I picked tonight. And what is this? After the 20th. I got to look at the calendar. Thanksgiving is Thursday. There you go. Last Thanksgiving, we were picking tomatoes. This Thanksgiving, we could have been picking tomatoes, but I'm picking them tonight, 4 or 5 days early. And I'm okay with that. There's still so many tomatoes and so many peppers on the plants. And I still have another sweet potato bed to pick. But this year was a little different. Thank you to that Hurricane Helena, or Helen, or whatever you want to call that stupid one starts with an H. I appreciate that, Helen. All right, there we go. See it? See the red one? You got to just grab the red and orange ones. The green ones stay. Matter of fact, I'm about to eat that one. Let me see that. Oh, yeah. I don't care. Right in my mouth. Oh, yeah. I mean, they're still flowering like crazy. You know what this is, Aunt? This is horseradish. Hold that flashlight. can't even pull it up. Ah! I'm gonna have to dig it up. You know what? I feel a root down there. Holy cheese and crackers. Come on, you.
We gotta do put it by the root.
I'll get it. I'll get it. That is a horseradish root.
So what you eat? This part?
Yep, just the root. No, not the leaves.
Oh, that's the root.
I'm leaving the rest of them for next year. Can you pick them off here? I broke the branch by accident. Yeah, I saw them from the other side. Okay. Can you grab them? Karen's gonna be excited. There's so many more in the plant. This plant needs water, dude. I have not been watering. Look at all these peppers, though. There's so many peppers. They're just not red yet. Those are all pimento peppers. And we gotta have 50 or 60 pimento peppers and all kinds of Roma tomatoes. The tomatoes and the peppers, they don't care about the hurricane. They kept growing. My butt should have been out here watering and picking them. I have all of my new Paul Robeson plants are actually taking off like crazy. Anthony and I planted those fish heads, piled dirt on top. We put the Paul Robesons in there, 2 beds of Paul Robeson. If they don't freeze before next week, I will cover them. I can't do it. It's pitch black out here. We'd have to go to Lowe's before they close, get the plastic. You know what? You might see it. You never know. All right. This is the 2 beds. This bed and that bed over there. That's where we buried all those fish heads. 40 or 50 carcasses of the fish when my brother came. Matter of fact, I'm just going to make one big video. The filleting of the fish, the burying of the carcasses, the harvesting of all these plants. I will tell you this. If it does not freeze this week, I will absolutely get a roll of plastic and make my little greenhouses, because I just picked a bunch of green tomatoes and I didn't want to pick them. I wanted to let them keep growing until they were ready. But if it does freeze, then I'm going to lose them. So at least now I can put them in the closet in a dark spot and they will ripen. Not sure exactly what they'll taste like, but I'll let you know if they're just as good. But here's the deal. If these plants do not freeze over the next 4 or 5 days, next weekend, I will absolutely make little greenhouses. And we'll be harvesting tomatoes right until January. Because these plants right now are growing very, very fast. And they're lush green colors, healthy branches. I know they're going to produce tomatoes. I just have to cover them and keep them out of the cold. Anyway, between you and I really would do it, except it's been a long week. So I'm not doing it tonight. I gotta water them. You know, my fountain and sweet grape tomatoes, they're not playing around. Check this out. I have hundreds and hundreds of tomatoes growing, but the plants are taking a hit because I haven't been watering. We haven't had rain in a long time. So that's on me. I should have been out here watering. Like I said, this hurricane has knocked me sideways. The trees, it was 3 Sundays in a row. I only have 1 day off, it's Sunday. And 3 Sundays in a row, we were on the trees. I took a couple of days off to go to North Carolina. So we have hundreds and hundreds of, I mean, look at these tomatoes. There's hundreds of them. But the plants, are putting everything into the tomatoes because they're not getting enough water. So tonight I'm gonna water. If it doesn't freeze this week, next weekend, the small greenhouses are going up because why not have fresh tomatoes for Christmas? Yeah. There's so many peppers only halfway red or halfway yellow. The yellow bells, I went back there was yellow bell peppers everywhere. Yellow bell peppers that were so ripe that some of them started to rot away. Like I said, it's all on me. Should have been out here. I got distracted with this hurricane and I just figured, all right, I'm not gonna worry about it. But now I'm all excited all over again. I should have been out here. Anthony is filling a 5-gallon bucket the rest of the way. I already got it filled with stuff, but he's picking a whole lot of these little datil peppers and these little tiny, I don't know what these little red ones are called. I don't remember. I have to look it up. They're delicious though. I eat them with the seeds and all. They're so small. And I got probably 1,000 peppers over here. I mean, they're all red and ready to go, buddy. You doing good over there? Yeah. Everglade tomatoes are still growing like crazy. So I left one bed with the plants because it's still flowering. Fountain and sweet grape, flowering like crazy. Tomatoes everywhere. I picked most of the Kellogg's breakfast because it's my second favorite one. First one would be the Paul Robeson. If they don't freeze and I get them wrapped, we'll have Paul Robeson for Christmas. If not, I will be taking these Kellogg's breakfast and putting them in a dark closet. But this is not a regular 5-gallon bucket. This is a tall 5-gallon bucket. Maybe it's 6 gallons. And look at this. And we're stopping because we got so much stuff to do. I still got to go take care of my turtles. I got turtles that are getting ready to hibernate. I got to get some extra mulch and dirt in there. But check this out. And these are the datil peppers, but they are amazing. I think I'm gonna be making some kind of a Western omelet this week. Or Texas, whatever they call that thing you got at IHOP. We're gonna roll with that. Kellogg's breakfast showing no signs of stopping. Hundreds of flowers. And guess what? I just went to Lowe's and I bought the roll of plastic. And one night this week, I'm gonna pick up Anthony. We'll put the floodlights on. We're gonna be out here at the dark. We're making our greenhouses, at least 4 or 5 of them. Why not have tomatoes right through Christmas? Gotta do it. I have so many tomatoes growing. I went and got a roll of plastic. And today, we're gonna cover a bunch of my tomato beds. So they, like little greenhouses, and we'll be picking tomatoes till after Christmas. I was digging, I dug too deep, and I just sliced my finger open on a fish head. Those fish had some sharp teeth. So I won't do that again. That's a one mistake in your life you'll never make again. Oh, that's crazy. Cutting these Kellogg's breakfast way down because there's a whole lot of brand new growth on the bottom. We gotten rid of almost everything on top, and now we're really covering the stems up with more dirt. And we're gonna get definitely gonna get some tomatoes out of this one. I'd almost bet money on it if I was a gambling type of a person. So, can't find the rope and the bungee cords we used to hold the plastic last year. We must have reused them for something else. So we'll get them covered, but I can't go to Lowe's today. They're closed on Thanksgiving, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, this is gonna be pretty good. Now we're inside of this greenhouse, this little baby greenhouse, and these plants are Paul Robeson. They're planted on top of 20 giant striped bass carcasses. I'm gonna go online and make sure that's okay, because I know they haven't decomposed. We just put them in there. So I know these roots are gonna go down and tap in. I just gotta make sure it's safe to eat any tomatoes. But either way, we're gonna have tomatoes that grow like crazy in the spring. But for now, here we are. I definitely feel good that we got 4 of them done. 2 Paul Robeson and 2 of the Kellogg's breakfast. And it was a toss-up. I have more plastic. What I don't have is I don't have the pieces already cut to go over the top to make it the shape of a roof. If we just put plastic over it, it's gonna fill with water like a pool cover does. That's just gonna be a waste of time. So I'm just gonna be satisfied and happy and grateful we got 4 of them done. But I can tell you right now, we have a greenhouse somewhere in our future. We're gonna build a greenhouse. The corner of the yard where they grinded up the stump, there's at least 40, 50 feet by 20 feet. That's probably a good place to build a greenhouse. There's a couple of ideas. Now that there's no shade over there, there's no trees over there, it's a nice safe place for a greenhouse. But the point is, we got 4 beds done. I know we're gonna get tomatoes off of our Kellogg's breakfast because there's already flowers on it. These Paul Robesons, it's either gonna work or it's not gonna work, because these plants started a little bit later than I wanted them to start. But either way, we got 4 greenhouses done. And so that's something to be excited about. It's definitely something to be excited about. And considering we still have so much storm damage to clean up. I have to prune all of our fruit trees. I have to take the fruit trees that were crushed and try to crutch them up with some T-posts and see how they do next year. The plums, they're flowering. I don't know that plums are supposed to flower in the fall. I thought they would flower in the spring with the rest of the fruit trees, so we'll see what happens. I still have to fix the corner of the workstation. Still have to rip down this other fence. Hurricanes, what can you do? Anyway, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I appreciate you being a part of this channel. And I'm still excited about this garden. And I'm down to 382 pounds. I'm so close to it being 200 pounds. It's so close. Today's not gonna do me any favors because there's a bunch of pies. There's gonna be stuffing and potatoes and gravy, and I'm not holding back. I haven't had breakfast and I haven't had lunch, but I know I'm gonna be tanking dinner. Happy Thanksgiving. Bless all of you. Bless you from being a part of this channel. You're never too old. You're never too sick. You're never too out of shape. 1 pot, 1 plant, 1 patio. Just start. It'll grow. If it does not freeze before Sunday, I'm gonna figure out a way, because these pepper plants, there's so many yellow and red peppers. They're not ripe yet. Well, there's a couple, hold on. I mean, it's just on Thanksgiving, right? I'll put this in a video too. Happy Thanksgiving is right.